السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وحان إذن كسو دوينيا ودبالدقيني سدحاد إذا عدى برشد الصوماليات Somali Public Radio. إن مقعيقو وخطرة عاوة برنامجك أنيقا إيو
Amjad, AG, Black Guy, hey you over there. I got so many names, but tonight, I'm your host, co-host.
That's right. أنيقا إيو AG بأسلا دادين دونا برنامجك عاوة دويلهي إدمو. AG, does this not look familiar to you?
No, I'm having a deja vu.
I am as well.
This took me like to back in the day. Me and his sister hosted so many events together, and the recent one was a Somali Independence Day that was just hosted by Kajo, July 1st. How many people was there?
Were you guys there?
And then we go like 10 years. I'm a vampire, so I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, but like we hosted so many events together over the years.
He's hiding about 15 years, so it's okay. So we want to welcome everyone. We have a great program for you guys in store. We appreciate you for being here because you could be doing so much with your time. But we are Somali Public Radio, and we are so grateful that you're here tonight. We will start with our program tonight. It's the Somali Public Radio song.
DJ Go Get Her!
bulshada Soomaaliya Somali Public Radio idaacada bulshada Soomaaliya Soomaaliya ummadii ku baahday badnayaban aaday baaqigii ka soo haray badna qurba aaday idaacad bayaan waafintiina haysaa barta ay ku nooshaan bayaan u cadayn SPR booqo SPR booqo waafintiina haysaa SPR booqo
SPR started about 3 years ago, and this is the sound of the diaspora. I know it's hard for us to digest this in the middle of the night. I'm not going to brag about this. Abdelkader's got a wonderful speech coming up. But this is the sound and the voice of the diaspora. This is our radio station, and they talk about issues and they take our issues seriously. So today we gathered here to celebrate the 3 years of this wonderful, cohesive, by everybody just coming together and celebrating this. They made it to 3 years. We don't have a lot of initiative that lasts this long in Minnesota coming out of our community. So just please give it up for 3 years of hard work. I'm already envisioning 30 years. And along that, we have some wonderful guests that came out to celebrate with us these wonderful 3 years. We got some wonderful speakers, some wonderful music, some beautiful poetry by some wonderful, super talented from the Somali community. And we also have some candidates that's going to come out here and speak to us. As we all know, the Somali community vote in numbers. And a lot of people are recognizing and realizing our voting power. So we have some wonderful candidates that are going to come up and explain to us what this voting is all about, since we are reaching that election season. It's around the corner, and the Somali community vote in numbers. And these people came out here and explain that to you, and you see it. So I'm going to pass it over to Kader real quick.
Thank you, AG. And one of the reasons we're here today is because we have had amazing sponsors. And I'm going to have Livan Adam introduce our first sponsor for the evening. Come on up.
Okay, hey, what time can la furi laha, okay? It's time to recognize our sponsors, the people that helped us get here tonight, the people who supported us all this time and all the way till tonight. And our first sponsor is American Refugee Committee.
American Refugee Committee is an international humanitarian organization, and this organization was founded 35 years ago by a man from Chicago and moved to here. Initially, the organization used to bring refugees from overseas to the Minnesota or other parts of the U.S. But they decided, instead of that, to help, to go to places in the refugee camps and help. We work in a number of countries.
So we have our first, I want to say, to be a politician. It's Jacob Frey, candidate for City Council Ward 3. Help me welcome him to the stage, please.
So much potential right now in the Somali population. I can't tell you how many times I've been to a safari restaurant, walked around, and there are people aging from maybe 15 years old up to 45, and they're studying philosophy, and they're looking at mathematics and science. And every single person, men and women, are moving on to go to university, to go to grad school, to make their lives better. And it is so unbelievably exciting to be a part of. So why don't you give everybody a round of applause. I want to tell you a quick story. So I grew up in Northern Virginia, just down the road from George Mason University. Does anybody know a famous Somali hero who happened to go to George Mason University? Do you know who that was? I see a hand. You. It's Abdi Bile.
All right, now it's time to recognize our second sponsor. And I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with our second sponsor. It is Associate Bank.
Tonight I'm very happy to be part of this great program by the Somali Public Radio. We really appreciate everything the Somali Public Radio is doing. And we support the community and the radio and everything that they stand for. It's really a great pleasure to speak on behalf of the Associated Bank. I know a lot of these faces tonight know me from another bank previously, but as you can tell that I'm no longer, I'm right now with Associated Bank, which is definitely a smaller bank than Wells Fargo. I used to work for Wells Fargo for 10 years.
Thank you, and appreciate that sponsorship. This is a wonderful story about a small bank that branched off of Wells Fargo. I was just listening to that and just imagining what Somalia could be. Just imagine that, right? But anyways, right now we're going to introduce our next candidate, and this is an area I kind of like. This is Superwoman in my eyes, because she want to be responsible of an area what I call Little Mogadishu. This is the Carmel area, and we have a wonderful candidate that's running for City Council, and her name is Meg, forgive me for pronouncing the last name, Tuthill. Meg Tuthill. Meg Tuthill for Ward 10, City Council candidate. Please give it up.
Good evening, and thank you very, very much to Somali Public Radio for the opportunity to be here this evening. One of the things that I think is really exciting about the opportunity to represent the new 10th Ward, this will be my second term if I get elected in November, is that this country is built on immigrants. And I look out at this room at all of our new American citizens, and this is really a big deal. This is carrying on the American tradition, is to see everybody come to this country, to participate in this country, and do well in this country. Some of the things that I've been involved in my first term is that I have been very supportive.
All right, you guys have failed me miserably. Nobody wanted to dance. The next group that I would like for Liban to highlight, one of our amazing sponsors. I'm actually part of them, and I'm very, very proud of them, is the nonprofit organization called Kajok. Liban.
Kind of want to give a shout out to Somali Public Radio. A lot of people don't know, wallahi, how hard some of these young folks at Somali Public Radio, what it takes to put on the show that you guys hear every Sunday. So please, let's give them one more chance. In terms of Kajok,
the next person that I want to introduce to you guys is my colleague, my brother, one of the co-founders of Somali Public Radio, Abdulqudus Noor Salah Donyale.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. On behalf of Somali Public Radio, I'd like to thank you all for joining us on our 3rd anniversary. Years ago, a group of us came together and asked questions. How do we effectively reach out and forge connections within our community? How do we change our image? How can we share our perspective? How can we impact our place of origin, a place that has become an icon of failure, a place of whom its mention often evokes images of horror? How can we impact the desperation? How can we change perceptions? How can we bridge between our two homes here in Minnesota? How can we integrate into mainstream America without compromising our values, our culture, our language? We need to find a voice, was the consensus that came out of these questions. Yes, a voice so loud, a voice that can cross over national and social boundaries, a voice for your thoughts, a voice that you can listen to. That voice, my voice, your voice, our voice. Somali Public Radio is that voice. Somali Public Radio is more than a radio station. It is also a catalyst for promoting change. It is a reconciliation effort that fosters dialogue. It is a hub that advocates for human rights and universal values. It is the voice of my generation, a generation scarred by civil war, a generation of refugees, a generation who lack role models. Few years ago, it was only an idea that came as a result of our dire need for change, the need for a grassroots movement that would steer us away from this state of helplessness and into a mechanically integrated society, and hence create a social structure of consensus and unity. This idea's intention was to transform our community from apathy and isolation into awareness and active participation. In search for that one thing that would satisfy our goals, we concluded that a nonprofit, a community radio, a public radio would go a long way in promoting development as well as cultivating change, the aim of our idea. We then sought after translating our idea into implementation, and our destination was rural areas of northeastern Somalia. The basis for our choice was simply because those regions lagged behind other regions in Somalia. They lack basic infrastructure that could spur economic growth and instill democracy and strong civic sense into the community. After 3 years of hard work, we are proud. We are proud today because our services cater to over 20 towns and villages in northeastern Somalia. Here in the Twin Cities, we've ramped up our efforts through our program on KFAI. Also, our website, SPR.FM, serves as a bridge between Somalia and thousands of members in the diaspora through our news, editorials, photos, and video content. We are excited to serve you all. We are excited to serve our community and look forward to bringing some of the most pressing issues, some of your most pressing issues into light. I would also like to take this moment to thank all of our sponsors who believe in our cause. My team, my wonderful team, all the volunteers that we've had who made tonight possible. Please give them a round of applause. I'll conclude my remarks, because I don't want to take too much of your time, by reminding you all that you too can join the voice of your generation. You can reach us on Facebook. Like our page on Facebook. You can send us your thoughts, your opinions. You can write opinion thoughts, and we will certainly publish it for you. Somali Public Radio. Thank you, thank you.
فرحي وحاتها فرحتي نفتيين هونك كثير صديق واحد ديرتها فكرتي أقوتي فتشين انتكي انتي فرحي وحاتها فرحتي نفتيين هونك كثير صديق واحد ديرتها فكرتي أقوتي فتشين انتكي انتي أكلها عدوم بابيا Facebook and Afno Ayya kalada abo padin Facebook and Afno Uram firashne fi'l maslaga Uram firashne fi'l maslaga Kalada abo padin Facebook and Afno Abon bade Facebook and Afne Quran firashne fi'l maslagarana Quran firashne fi'l maslagarana
Hey Damn little mama, you know you looking right. Nice size frame when you're right, looking right. All over the dudes, man, they just plain height. Bring a toothbrush, you can save for the night. Such a good host, we can do what you like. Yeah, you look good, I ain't cutting up the lights. Bring it over here, let me show you how it's done. Hit you one time, every teacher gets sprung. Never ever, 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 ever use tongue. Young East African, yeah, well hung. I say never ever, 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 ever use tongue. Young East African, yeah, well hung.
Everybody get in your feet. Let's go. Come on. Say. La 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 la.
Farahay waxaad tahay faynistii hablaha iyo midii aan ku faanay Farahay waxaad tahay faynistii hablaha iyo midii aan ku faanay Faraway aduu baan u dira fariimo fahanku iraahda
Kalada adoon badin Facebook and Afno Kalada adoon badin Facebook and Afno
Quran firashne fi'l maslagarana Quran firashne fi'l maslagarana
Kalada adoon badin
Facebook and Afno
Kalada adoon badin Facebook and Afno Quran firashne fi'l maslagarana Quran firashne fi'l maslagarana
Falada adoon badin Facebook and Afno
Awan nala joogin and we all miss him. Salah Nur Salah Donyale. Give it up. Yeah, let's go.
talk.
dalkii waa gujeyniyey macaylkaa tegaysaan dadkii waa badlayseen maduulkaad sugaysaan Soomaaliye 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 dalkii waa gujeyniyey macaylkaa tegaysaan dadkii waa badlayseen maduulkaad sugaysaan Soomaaliye 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 dulmigaad gelaysaan taariikhda badaabici ee idin madaya dacaarteeda wadahel dulmigaad gelaysaan taariikhda badaabici ee idin madaya dacaarteeda wadahel Soomaaliye 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 waiga dardaarane dardaarane Soomaaliye waiga dardaarane dardaarane Soomaaliye ammaan danteedna gaarno diibu dhisna dalkeenne ammaan danteedna gaarno diibu dhisna dalkeenne Soomaaliye 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 waiga dardaarane dardaarane Soomaaliye waiga dardaarane dardaarane Soomaaliye ammaan danteedna gaarno diibu dhisna dalkeenne ammaan danteedna gaarno diibu dhisna dalkeenne Soomaaliye 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 dalkiisi duminayay doonidii arkeeno maraakiib gudaafadaan lagu daabinayaa Soomaaliye 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 dalkiisi duminayay doonidii arkeeno maraakiib gudaafadaan lagu daabinayaa Soomaaliye 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 duxusaatiraysaan dujoogta duufinaysaan idin madaya dacaarteeda wadahele duxusaatiraysaan dujoogta duufinaysaan idin madaya dacaarteeda wadahele Soomaaliye 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 waiga dardaarane dardaarane Soomaaliye waiga dardaarane dardaarane Soomaaliye ammaan danteedna gaarno diibu dhisna dalkeenne ammaan danteedna gaarno diibu dhisna dalkeenne Soomaaliye 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 waiga dardaarane dardaarane Soomaaliye waiga dardaarane dardaarane Soomaaliye ammaan danteedna gaarno diibu dhisna dalkeenne ammaan danteedna gaarno diibu dhisna dalkeenne Soomaaliye 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 Soomaaliye.
Next up is a candidate who impressed our editorial board. He's a lifelong Minneapolis resident, former Hennepin County Commissioner, and an environmental entrepreneur. Our editorial board endorsed him because of his bold understanding of issues most important to African Americans, to Africans, East Africans, his support for rigorous police conduct review, and his emphasis on sustainability, equity, and economic development. His understanding of East African issues stem from early engagement. Early on, I remember, about 9 months ago, he met with key groups within our community, leaders, religious leaders, youth. This created an unprecedented level of excitement within our community, and I think it contributed significantly to the large turnout for the DFL caucuses that happened a couple months ago. Somali Public Radio endorsed him because of his commitment for our schools, development, population density, and his vision for a greater diversity. Because of his concerns for issues most pressing to us, because of his past effective leadership, we urge you all to vote for him November 5th. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our next Minneapolis Mayor, Mark Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you. A shout out for Somali Public Radio. What a program. I am so happy and I am so proud to have the endorsement of Somali Public Radio because it speaks to me as a part of this community, as somebody who can help lead our city and help the Somali community become all that it can be as part of the fabric of Minneapolis. It is a wonderful 3rd anniversary celebration, and I am here to tell you that I am proud to be a part of it. Thank you so much. I want to say just a couple of things very quickly. Not only am I very excited to see so many of our candidates here tonight, I'm also excited to speak to the young people in our community who are going to be here for generations to come, and the opportunities we have to work together, and my commitment that I will make to you if I am elected your mayor, to help you with housing, to help you with education, to help reduce crime in our community, to help with public acceptance and growing the small business community. Thank you. I am a small business entrepreneur. Many people here are. I came from a family that didn't have very much, and I'm proud that I've been able to build a business for myself in this community. And I want to be able to work with all of you in this room tonight as you plan for your future, as you build for your future with your friends, your family members, building our cultural and arts assets, making our city cleaner, more sustainable, safer, a happier place for all of us to live in. And I am committed to you and to you and to you and to everybody in this room and the entire North African community to make a better life for everybody. I am Mark Andrew. I am honored to have your endorsement from Somali Public Radio. Thank you all. Thank you.
Somali Public Radio, SPR, hadday dhalatiyo dhidibka loo taagay, dhawaaqeedu waa kaa ka baxay, hirarka dhaadheere, dhowdhowda BBC-da way kaaga dhowdahay. Iminkana dalkii oo dhan baa aalad loo dhigay ee dhahar iyo buraan iyo yube dhagax labaasood ee dhabardalool hadaaftimiyo baran dhiraha baalweyne udo iyo karkaar nugaal dhoodhi iyo howdka dhinacyada togdheer taleex iyo baar dheere baargaal dhamuug iyo muqdisha laga dhagaystaa buu yidhi abwaan wataan. idaacadda Somali Public Radio ayaa ka soo burqatay maskax dhalinyaro Soomaaliyeed oo rabay inay u gogol xaaraan ololo wacyigelin ah waa ololo lagu baadigoobayo cod waa ololo lagu baadigoobayo rajo waa ololo lagu baadigoobayo isbedel haddaba magaalada Minneapolis waxaa jira dhalinyaro Soomaaliyeed oo wali wada halgan socda halgan aad idinka iska leedihiinoo halgan lagu baadigoobayo rajo halgan la siman kan Somali Public Radio waa halgan barbar socda kan Somali Public Radio aan u yeero oo aan fursad siiyo mid ka mid ah dhalinyaradaasi oo halgankaasi hogaaminayay waa musharaxeennii waa ninkii bixiyay magaca Somali Public Radio waa nin ka mid ah asaasayaasha idaacadda Somali Public Radio aan u yeero another candidate that we endorse a candidate that we believe can bring much difference to the state of our community and to the city of Minneapolis at large. That candidate, my friend, one of the co-founders of Somali Public Radio, Abdi Warsami.
I wanted to bust a move, like you know, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Marka hore waxaan rabaa inaan Ingiriis wax yar ku hadlo, waayo dad badan baa nala joogo maaragtay Ingiriis ku hadlo. Ninkan ugu naantii baa Ingiriis ku hadashay marka waxaan isku dayi doonaa insha Allah. Waan ogahay inaad daalan tihiin music-ii xogaa waa 12 o'clock marka naga raali ahaada waqtiga waan ku dheeraynay. We apologize. My name is Abdi Warsame, and as many of you know and have heard, I'm running for the Ward 6 City Council seat. I am the endorsed candidate for the Democratic Party or the DFL, and I don't really want to give you a lecture or a speech, and I don't want to talk too much because you've already heard of our campaign and our struggle and what we've come across. But let me tell you one thing. I know our community is used to failure, and we're not used to success. And success sometimes is very difficult for us. But let me give you some good tidings. In April 16th, 2013, we brought 1,500 delegates to 9 precincts. It was a historic moment in the city of Minneapolis. It never happened before. We took 90% of the delegates against our opponent. We raised more money than our opponents. And who gave us that money? Not big shots, not big players, but cab drivers, IT individuals, people who work in the city, people who own small businesses, people like you. We raised more money than our opponent because of you and people like you. We have today more lawn signs than our opponent. We've sent out more flyers than our opponent. We've knocked on more doors than our opponent, and that's because of you and this community. And I'm proud to be a Somali American, I'm proud to be an East African, I'm proud to be Muslim, and I'm proud to be an immigrant, and I'm proud to be one of them. And I want to go to City Council without compromising my values, without changing who I am. I want to go to City Council as I am, as a proud American, proud Muslim, and a proud everything else that I just mentioned earlier. And let me tell you one thing, there are people who are champions in this campaign, who are heroes, who I will never forget. I will never forget the old ladies who knocked on doors for us. I will never forget the old men and the old individuals who had diabetes, who stood by us for 8 hours and they were not allowed to be fed. I will never forget my volunteers who every morning wake up so that every vote is counted, so that every single member of their community is able to vote. I will never forget our friends, but let me tell you something, this campaign is not personal. We're not against our opponent because he's a bad guy. We're against our opponent because he's an obstacle to our success, nothing more. And we want to run, and we have ran, a very competitive campaign, a campaign that you should all be proud of. But let me mention one point. Right now, 1,000 people have already voted for Abdi Rassam. Hold on, no. 1,000 people have already voted. But let me tell you who have voted. The old ladies have voted. The old men have voted. Those who can't speak English have voted. I have seen with my own eyes 2 blind ladies who came back from voting. And you know who hasn't voted? And you know who hasn't voted? You haven't voted. You know? And you don't vote. And let me guarantee you one thing. If all of you and your age group votes this year, not just for Abdi Rassam, but votes for the mayor. I'm with Mark Andrew, by the way. Vote for the mayor. And you vote for other DFL endorsed candidates. Jacob Fry is right there. You know, Diane Hofstad is also there. But I don't care who you vote for. What I want you to do is vote. For God's sake, vote. But please vote, okay? All right, now let me say it in Somali. waxaan idinka rabnaa walaalayaal inaad sanadkan codaysiin. waxaan rabnaa dhalinyaradiina quruxda badan, gabdhihiina aad u qurux badan meesha fadhiyo, ma kala jecli xaafadaad degan tihiin, please codeeya. taga 5 minutes waaye. 5 minutes kaasna waxaad bedeli doontiin taariikhdiina, waxaad bedeli doontiin mustaqbalka ilmihiina, waxaad bedeli doontiin sida lidii arko. magaaladan waa ka badan lahay 10,000. 10,000 kun haddaa sanadkaan codayno, journaalku wuxuu qorayaa the Somalis have arrived, the East Africans have arrived. You know? taas baan rabaa markiina samaysiin. Thank you very much. Long live the United States of America.
Next is, we're going to do something special, something we've never done in the past 2 anniversaries that we've had. We're giving out an award. Only one award though, just one. Waxaan bilad aqoonsi siin doonaa hal shakhsi. Muxuu ku mutaystay shakhsigan? Maxaan u siinaynaa biladaasi? waa aabbe caruur dhalay, waa soo saare filmaanta soo saara, waa wariye, waa tafatire, waa qof aan aniga ku soo koray barnaamijyada uu soo saaray, waa qof soo saaray wariyaasha Soomaalida ugu caansan. aan u yeero oo aan biladan guddoonsiiyo, ilana guddoonsiiyo dhammaantiin Somali TV, Somali Channel, soo saaraheedii Siyaad Ismaaciil iyo
Our next candidate is also running for Ward 9, and his name is Abdi Abdul. So help us introduce him. Abdi Abdul, please come to the stage.
All right, my name is Abdi Abdulle, and before I start introduce myself, I would like to tell you a very small story that represents me, which you never heard, but you have been witness for. My story is the story of Somali Public Radio. My story is the story that bring Jacobson to make him to speak English in Somali language tonight. My story is the story bring Timor, who is my opponent in this podium tonight.
Our next candidate is Scott Freeland, running for President Commissioner of Park Boards. Thank you, Scott.
Eskoran, you will hear from many politicians tonight. One of the things that I'd like to do is occasionally not sound like a politician. Julius Caesar enriched the common people of Rome by bequeathing to them all his parks and gardens.
musli khaalisaanahay mas-uul waaye aragoo muranka iyo dulmiga neceb masalan la yaabaye gabdhaheenna mudanka midda dahablamoodka Soomaali Maxameda maamuuska guur iyo ma helaan balmaarayn macnuhuna wuxuu yahay raggii baa mas-uuliyiin noqdaan iyo diiday madaxnimada diiday mid waa maraano waa mid maama booyo maghrib iyo ilaa subax minanku dhex jiifaa meherad laga shaqaystiyo mushtar iyo adduun iyo madrasaad waxbarashiyo murwo aroosiyo mawjadaada kuma jiree maama booy isaga daa midna waaba maafiyo Michael buu ismoodaa muusig buu dhageystaa maryo aad u waaweyn iyo koofiyadu maluuqa meelaha xumaantii iyo mukhadaraadku jeclaystaa maalintaad isqabataan malaka mowd siduu yahay indhuhu maqiiqa oo wuxuu ku dhahayaa look at me I am the captain maalintaad isqabataan malaka mowd siduu yahay indhuhu maqiiqa meel walbuu istaagaa maafiyo isaga daa midna waa majnuun maran maqaayadaha kafeega iyo moolashu wareegayo siyaasaddu macneeya maghrib iyo ilaa subax siyaasaddu macneeya Michelle Obama iyo Museveni baa yiri baarlamaanka ma ogoli muqdishaan wacaya maqaal baan qoraya buu maghrib iyo ilaa subax mar walba yiraahdaa ileen waa majnuun maran kana ugu daran dhageysta midna waaba mooryaan gabdhuhu malgaayo macaanayna keenbu maryanay iskensi buu every minute yiraahdaa marka ay xumaato meel xilleeto joojana illa waa munaafiqe muraayadu xirtaayo maanday kuma aqaan buu malag helay yiraahdaa macna yare isaga daa mawlow ilaahu macbuudkan jeclaayo wiilasha mawlow ilaahu macbuudkan jeclaayo wiilasheena macna yare isugu baxay miirkooda soo celi waa mahadsantiin dadka ka soo
All right, everyone. Is everyone having a good time? I think everyone asked, but I must ask, is everyone having a good time? Up next is a young woman that's not a stranger to myself. She's a co-worker of mine, a friend and family. I want to introduce to you guys one of our amazing sponsors is from Sood Foundation. Anab Ali, would you come up and join me on the stage, please?
magacayga waa Anab waxaan ka socdaa on behalf of Seaward Foundation. We're new to this new organization who just came with the idea of empowering women. Tonight I've seen a lot of boys. I hope my groups of SPR are good to my girl Katra, please. Like Katra mentioned about our organization, it's about just empower. Empower means all Somali region. It doesn't matter where you're from, what region. If you speak the name of Somali, if you wear the clothes of Somali, if you act like a Somali, if you behave like Somali, I will help Somalis.
khudbadihii nagu dheeraaday waxaan markaan u malaynayaa in qaybtii majaajalada aan idin geli doono waxa ay nala jooga the only Happy Khalifa iyo jeceelow oo wax badan ka daawateen Facebook iyo YouTube-ka kilibiyadooda iyo folaashana Faadumana waa noo joogtaa marka wax yar waa idinka qoslaysiinay raalli ahaada inta khudbadihii iyo wixii idinku dheeraaday siyaasadii waa ka warqabnaa calaalkiina waa na soo gaaray marka Happy Khalifa iyo waxaan ku soo dhaweynaynaa iyo kooxdiisii inay bal mar kale idinka qoslaysiiyaan soo dhawaada
السلام عليكم شاها كارميلا كسو قد حمدي والله واشدين وسلامتين دمانتين عاو والاسكو عمرنا يا والاسقلا يا عيالك حافظة ميش جوجو لما كلا حناقا يا For those of you who don't speak English, translation will be later on, so you have to, a teamwork. We'll try to speak Somali first and we'll try to make sure that we speak English later for your convenience. Inshallah ta'ala. I'm so happy to see a lot of people here coming tonight, so happy, so dressed up. But too bad summer is over. Winter is coming on South Dakota. It's raining and snowing. I don't know, the weather in this country is so bipolar. I'm so confused. Hey? What's the matter with this country? Who has discovered this country? Columbus? He has found a so terrible place. I know American dream to me, I think it's like a nightmare to me. But I love this country. The food stamp is working for me. I love it. The Somalis who come in this country, there are two of them. Some who come early and some who come late. So the ones who come earlier are different from other people. They are taller, light skinned, with a lot of blue and shit. You know what I mean? I'm sorry about my language if I say something that's not good, but I'm trying to make you laugh so that you must make sure you mingle with me in this area. أخياري شيكوين بدنا تورينا عيالك حافظ حاسكي حق تاجن ما فاضم الله عنقو أنا لو إنكار قبا أنت تاجن فيسبوك إنستغرام على كلا قبلي وحو تاجن يا سويت هارت ما شكان سواس بدلوقتين ما هو شكان سواي وهراء أوجني أبشحن كني أبولن كني خوات كن نوع كلوها نسوماليا أو 6 pack natural اسكله Abu Molo bana gym illa adi. You don't need a membership in Somalia. You know, gym membership, you don't need it. You just walk from here to Rochester. You don't need a gas station. You don't need nothing. You don't need no food. Just 3 liters of water. And you just go. You're not afraid of lions. You're not afraid of no tigers. Because you believe you are a tiger. Back in the days in my country, if a man wants to marry a woman, he has to go to the forest and kill a lion to make sure he's a real man. And you cannot kill a baby lion or a female lion. That's 10 years of getting nothing. You know what I mean? And you have to kill a lion face to face like a man. Come here. I go kill you. Come here with a spear. You can't sneak around. You just have to kill a lion man to man. Come here. And if the lion kills you, your brother will marry the woman because you have died for it. Who will kill a lion for a woman in America? Just tell me about that. All the lions are chained in a zoo. I don't know why you're doing that. Nothing is organic in this country. The food is in the fridge. You get a lot of stomach. You try to go to the gym, you are busy. In my country, we don't even have insurance, car insurance. Your car will hit my car, we negotiate, you go crazy, I kill you. Negotiation. There's nothing like that. You marry a woman, you have children, you have daughters. There is no love, there is nothing, there's no date, there's no movie, nothing like that. Everything is organic. Your father will come to me, you want my daughter? Give me that money, give me them camels. Then you take my daughter like that. There is nothing like you love him, you like him, nothing. You have no choice in Somalia. But some bats in Somalia is so okay that you can mingle with girls and can talk to them and whisper them, Facebook them. It's all right. But I believe in the old Somali tradition, you come to me, want my daughter, or you'll be killed with AK-47, 59 bullets in your body, you are a dead man. Shakada Somalia ka dhigana, Ingiriis waa ku dalnay. هاي حالتك وربا والله أنا حريف كدايت كنت عدا أنا ربا أنا أفوت قري لكن قبيل كيس محاوي طلياني أدوية بابا وشيت ما فوت قرينا كرة دوكي ما فرنسيسكي ملاس كر عديس. You know, in Somali tradition, we are so open people that you meet someone in a train or a bus. At the end of your destination, you know that person from top to down. This is how it happens. You're riding a bus, you are sitting in front of him. Hi, how are you, brother? What's your name? My name is John. John, are you married? Excuse me? Well, it's not a big deal. Just tell me I'm married too. You're married? We're just open. Yeah, I'm married. Oh, you're married. How many children do you have? You work? How much money you make for a day? I make that dollars. So he wants to multiply that money into the month. Oh, you make that money at the end of the month? Excuse me? So at the end of the day, you know that person up and down in Somalia. And next time you see, oh, that's my friend. That's my friend. هذا ما أنت صومالي مول كارميل وحجر ضد نقصوا عم بحملهم ولا شكاس نقدر فيها قبل أركي ورها وسكش قيسان عداني إيش لشقيان يمول كيني hey this is called Happy Khalif ألعب معي ألعب this is Happy Khalif he's funny guy you see him on YouTube this is called Shah and Sambus it has like a 3 layers like this stop playing with me dad Soomaali haddana waxaa jiro maalmahan oo sheeko yaab leh hayga waa maqasho ma sheekaas adigana shaatiga ma ka dhamaado dad waxaa jiro oo waxay ku leeyihiin waraa shaqadan ka shaqeeya ma aragtay haa keligii Soomaaliya ka shaqeeya xaafadan deganaya ma aragtay kor sababanka keligii Soomaaliya degan wariyaa ka orday yaa orday Allah be proud who you are. You will always be Somali no matter what. Who's with me? We eat ambulo and we eat anjero every day. عادي اسكدي يا كدريمن أو إسلانتي أو السلام عليكم بالكالة أفرس حاجي السلام عليكم
حاجي هبي وعليكم السلام
أيوة
نبت
ما قصابك كو يراي maxaa ku soo dahay balaayo
hadda intaas radio public baa dhageysanaysa yaa dad ma maqashid hada radio dhageysanaysid
ma maqle iPhone baa haystay anigu radio meeshan ka dhageystay iPhone 5s baa yiraahdo adigu midkaadu ma stupid ma waa smart
garan mayne
upgrade baad u baahan tahay
hadda waxa soo miirane maxaa iigu yeertay
anigu wadankan joogi maayo
haye
waan duulahayaa I will fly away from this country to my country.
Warma ma qashay waxaas?
Na waan duuleynaa naga aamus.
Haye waaye bal anna kula duulaya soo wad sheekada.
Cunuga xunka ah waa inaan wadnaa.
Wiilkayga curadka ah.
Laftigiis waa inaan wadnaa. Na horta ma anaa ku qomaysada ay qabo. Maxaad iga daba hadashaa?
Waa isqabnaa. Wadanka Mareykan baa la joogaa isqabnaa.
Na head anaa ku qabi jiray ma hadda ma ay qabaad.
Haddaan ku qabo maxaa ku joogan maalin ay qab maalin oo ku qabayaa
wallahi Somali waa inaan geeyo sabaxad ku qabtaa tan halka ii joogi mayso tolbeelay mahad
xaaji
ma ku qaas qabnaa maanta keentay soo joogto ma
sota aniga agreement kala saxana
waa maxay wax afka marsan guud malaay ku dhacday
waa roseto
waa sun maad ka joogtid نمت كجوكت
حاج شكل عيقو بدنا محا عيقو يارت
راي كل سلق سناتي قصل كذا جعلي جلق سنة نبى هذا كور ناق جعلاده
هاي
سدح نبى عين هل ناق بي جعلاده شيكة الأحمر تمكاش شيكيات وقت شيكة جعلاده هو هاي بلاي غفتاي
ما هذين ماشي ناكو جرني كشيكة
أدنى وحن كون نعي وحن مارتي يا وحي ساس نحن شو أنا قاعد أقول ويودوكتها
هاي بلي وتشكل
ناقته وحي ترنينك وشو كان في عم بقعدنا هيا Somali hadda ogtiin qabiilo badan waxba ka jiro wallahi wala isqarxinaya waxba iga magil aniga organic baa Somali ruro maarat 100% ya qabiilo badan baa jiro 9 waxaa looga hadlaa Soomaaliya dialect. We have 9 dialects in Somalia. 9 dialects of Somalia. I speak all of this. I'm so happy. I'm from Wajid. So midda koowaad waxay tiri war waxay tiri soo soco libax
haye
markaasaa wuxuu yiri iga arsaha kugu Allah amba ka saqiiro xogaa luqadda waa iska fahmaysaa ma sheegana qabiilkiin balaayada biskuleeti baawur ma aha baledku gaar waay hadda meesha ugu dambaysa inay la akhrisaan waay biskuleeti baawur ma aha baledku gaar waay barakaay waxaa loo dhistaa baled jeclaantiis baawur aminkaas bib yira iga banay waay balgalay waxaa laga dayaa wabi jiinkiis buubayna samada cirka adiga ma arkaysa mogtahay diyaarad Lake Street ka socota mogta cirka ku arkay mogta kordheer mugan ka arkan kuu qusuuca habartaa shaloo arko waa ikaasiis adooga hawlaantiis xaa iga galay tababarkayga xubbiyaan ku qabaa
masaasay ku tiri
asay ku tirin kaara qabtaay adiga ma kala
naagta iga daran
adiga buluminta marka loo socdo waxa aadaa Columbia Heights
waan aniga naagiga ilaali
waxaan dhan jecel ma ka tahay been badana midkii labaad wuxuu yiri raaxamar waa mugta
adiga heer xamar waa hooyadii ayadoo yara shukaan jirta dad mashkaasina
uqda nafsu qaba cunuga xamar weyn ku dhashtay war tag hooyada la sheekeenay or ka tag
urtii dhaaf
maalmahan waan ka xishooday mindi wax uu taageeraale
maxaa jira hooy ii waran
cunugan cirka galay
habeen maalin waa shukaansinaysiin yaraan waxa shukaansiga ma dhamaanay
hadda la waa kortay wiilkana hadda la jinjaan bilaabeynaa
jinjaan junjo filinka saad qaleeg rasmiga
waa ogtahay
waxaan ku sheegnaa iska taagno ilaahay baana ka baday koodhe
iska taagno hadal wiilka maxaa ugu yeertay
wiilka waxaan ugu yeeray xaaji waataan ku heshiinay ninkan Soomaaliyan geenna ninkan Facebook ku jiro maalintii Instagram oo soo gelinay I give shout out to my shout out ruwa maxay waxa meed xishoonay balay ku dhacday
afaarihi soo gelin hooyaday xagaaga fadhisaa ana ay mashquulna meesha Mareykan Allah saxwo
naam ku sheega
waa runtiis
intay waqti tahay ninkan qabanno
adiga hooyaday qabtayda ku amiraysa meesha
Soomaaliya haduu kan igu noolaadaba ilaahan ku dhartay ninkan aan wadno
maxaa lii wada Mareykan joogay ana li ka maarta
food stamp kulay waxa dhacday government shutdown wala socotaay
dib male waa shaqeysana maca
government shutdown baa dhacay lacag baa loo laayay librariyaas madax lacag lagu siinaya balay ku dhacday
waa shaqeysana maxa wixii ma ii sheegay bartii ana xabad kinta oo dhanama adirti iska duulay dirti diyaar oo kale waa degdegoosa diyaar oo kale
wala balay kula mugdi noqon
asha wala wiil buu ku banaayay
balay kula noqotay mugdi habeenkii lagu arki maayo maxaa tala hadii mugdi dhac winter baa soo socday mahma waxaa jirto South Sudanese oo dhahayso nin is cadeeyay naag is cadeysay waxa ka cad naag madow iyo nin madow af Ingiriis loo dilo bedela waxa waaye there is a South Sudan saying that says a black woman is whiter than what a white woman
hadda wax dhan soo gagaab maxaa ku cad aad diirti duul hooyadii aan Mareykan ugu dhaaf
ala kulli xaal aniga ma dhageysan kara arintan kood in rago xinayaha gubanayaan baa kood ninka ka soo dhaadhici inaan Soomaaliya aadno war ma ku sheegan uu kala wada hadal iga qabo telefoon
sug balaadi
dhiga igu karaayay ninkan
hooy waaruna beenta hadalkiisa yeelo ma iska baxnaa
kaar baa ku dhacday kan ma noole fanaad
adiira way kaligiisa duul aan aad inta ku joogeynaa
oo ma iska dirnaa
diyaar
hadda xaaji waxa weyn inta sii baxdid guri noo sii dhis beerta noo sii qod wax noo sii fiiri markaasaan ka daba iimaanaynaa
oo ay tashateen Soomaa
ma saas waayade anaga yaa naga horeeya xaq wax noogu diyaarinaa
tornayda idin ku dhacday ilaahay idin bari tornayda idin ku dhacday
bismillah habaarka nigata habaarka
warna uu kala wada war Ahmed Ishaga noo kala wada salaamu alaykum warahmatullahi
After the lights are out, I want a challenge to that song. Anybody? Can you guys hear me? We'll do a challenge to that song that keeps playing. Next, I want to introduce someone that has been here from the beginning since we've started at 8 o'clock today. Diana Hofstad, who's running for City Council Ward 3. Could you please help me welcome her to the stage?
Good evening. Thank you to the Somali Radio for inviting me this evening and for this fabulous program. I'm Diane Hofstad, 3rd Ward City Council. I am the incumbent in the 3rd Ward running for re-election, and I have spent the last 8 years working with the community. I'd like to continue working with you on things we all care about: improved housing, education for our children, and fairness and equity in everything that we do in the city of Minneapolis. We are building the city, but the city needs to be inclusive with all members of our community. And so I ask for your support on Tuesday, November 5th, to be re-elected as the 3rd Ward City Council member, so that we can continue to work together, so that we can continue to grow the community as it should grow in the city of Minneapolis. I thank you for your support and your endorsement of your leadership for my re-election as a 3rd Ward City Council member. It is important that we empower all people and bring everyone to the community and empower our women to be leaders in our community in the city of Minneapolis. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
This next brother I want to introduce, he's running for Park at Large. He's a wonderful brother in this community, in the Somali community. I want to introduce brother Jonas. Give it up for Jonas, come on.
يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر صدق الله العظيم. I greet you in Islamic tradition. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let me start by saying one of my favorite presidents of all time was John F. Kennedy before Barack Obama. He said once, every individuals do not have equal talents, but all individuals should be given the equal opportunities to develop their talents. So tonight,
all right, so the next speaker, if you guys can hear me, the next speaker is one of our sponsors, a major help to the Cedar Youth Riverside Council. He's the current president of the Park Board, who's seeking, may I say, re-election. Help me welcome to the stage John Irwin.
Good evening. Thanks so much for inviting me tonight, and thank you so much for Somali Public Radio. I'm here to talk to you about two things. First of all, my background. I'm John Irwin. I'm a professor at the University of Minnesota. I live in the Seward neighborhood, and I'm a father.
qarannimadu waa shay qurxoon oo qiimo ka dhigiye qabqablihii dagaalkee madhsaday qarankii Soomaali ee qiiqa baaruudda iyo olalka noqoshay qadar jabiyayaasha bulshada qalatay jidhkooda qadiro wallahayow dadkii way qabjabiyeene qof intuu ka nool yahay ma jiro nabad qaboobaane qabrigay ka buuxaan dadkii qimiga lahaaye qooma meeya Soomaaliyeey waad isqalateene hooyada warabuhu qarriga qalaya jidhkeeda quud la'aan kuwa badaha gale mawjaduhu qaadi ee nibiri qaate kalluun quudan hilibkooda qabri lagu ridaa lagu samraaqayna loo xidhae maydka quban bannaanada ayaan ooyi qiiradae qajilaad malaha ruux iblays qaatay badankiiye qooma meeya Soomaaliyeey waad isqalateene danoodiyo dardheeriyo haradigee tegay indaraadaw halow ka soo dayay dawadi qalbiga imadayn karaye adaan dumarkaa la soo baxay intaana wadee danoodiyo dardheeriyo haradigee tegay intanaadaw halow ka soo dayay dawadi qalbiga imadayn karaye adaan dumarkaa la soo baxay leedahay guday macaan dahabo adaan dumarkaa la soo baxay leedahay guday macaan dahabo adaan dumarkaa la soo baxay leedahay guday macaan dahabo adaan dumarkaa la soo baxay leedahay guday macaan dahabo adaan dumarkaa la soo baxay
fadhiga halka ayaa ka waa dhamaaday fadhigii halbaashaalo everybody stand up have a good time kuraasta la iska wareejiyo thank you
dhulkay darantiyo barwaaqada dowgada xoolihi xoolaheeni oy dumarku dhurba iyo bixida guran dawadi qalbiga imadayn karaye dhulkeenna ma soo dalxiisnaa dhulkay darantiyo barwaaqada dowgada xoolihi xoolaheeni oy dumarku dhurba iyo bixida guran dawadi qalbiga imadayn karaye dhulkeenna ma soo dalxiisnaa leedahay guday macaan dahabo adaan dumarkaa la soo baxay